Hi, welcome back to the Nook. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I'm not sure when I'm posting this. In this video, I'm going to be working on crocheting and knitting Christmas presents. So this video is going to be a festive one. I have a habit of starting many projects and not finishing them. In a way, this is kind of going to be actually more of a finishing whips video because I actually have started pretty much all of the Christmas presents. I just haven't really filmed anything and I haven't finished anything, so we're going to be finishing them hopefully one by one. And let's talk about what we're going to make and just get started. I'm sorry if you can hear the cats munching on biscuits in the background. So far, I made my fiance's dad a hat a couple years ago, I think now, and I'm making another one. This time I'm making him a knit one. It's got to be big and stretchy because he's got a big head. So yeah, he's gonna have a grey one now because he has a dark red one. I just made my fiance's mum a birthday present because she has a birthday around the same time as me, October. So I'm not sure what to make her next. I've started making my mum the granny square cardigan she wants. She wants a really oversized one and she liked the colourful one that I have, so I'm making her one. But her birthday is right after Christmas, so I might give this to her on her birthday. Or maybe she can get an early birthday present. I don't know. And the other thing I'm making for both my mum and dad are blankets. So it's not something I can really show you, but I can show you that I've been blocking some granny squares for it. I'm making them 2 gigantic granny square blankets each. I'm gonna have them both say Mum and Dad. You see these squares? These are the ones that I'm going to be writing Dad in, and then I've got a bunch of, I can take these off because these have been on there for ages, colourful ones. So my dad's is going to be very like blues and greens kind of vibe. I'm going for my dad's one. Starting that first because that's the only present I've thought of for him so far, whereas my mum, I'm also making her a cardigan. But I have started her granny squares too, I just haven't blocked them. I think that's it. But it is currently the 3rd of December and these blankets are going to take a while to make, but I do want to make them. I did actually start them quite a while ago and I've made quite a few granny squares, which I will show you very soon. Okay, I'm going to get started. What I'm going to do first, I'm going to finish this. This is so close to being finished. I've got this much yarn left. I basically just need to do the decreases and then it'll be done. I've started to try and speed up my knitting by doing the flick method, the English style flick method. I'll show you in a minute. I finished one Christmas present. Woo! This is actually a really nice hat. Okay. One Christmas present down. Next, I think I'm going to take a break. Probably do some work, maybe do a jigsaw puzzle. But this evening, I will keep working on granny squares for the granny square blanket. And I kind of want to write down or figure out how many squares I've done and how many I need to do. I do have a diagram, so I sketched this out and I did do some maths, and I need, just for the dad one, I need 44 plain squares to spell dad, and then about 184 squares to go around it. So it'll probably be roughly the same for the mum. So yesterday I blocked these granny squares. There is 11 on them. There's these shorter pegs for the sides. So I can actually only fit 10, 11 on there. So what I'm thinking is I'm also going to use this. I think I have more pins. So I'm going to be blocking as many granny squares as possible because I have like 500 squares to do before Christmas. Heh. You're probably like, why are you blocking the squares? Well, normally I wouldn't, but I got this for Christmas. Now I'm blocking the squares. I'm not going to not block all of the squares. They just look so nice and uniform and so much better for sewing than later. And I think this is pretty much dry. So I'll be putting as many granny squares as I can tonight. I blocked a bunch of more squares last night. What I'm focused on right now is these ones, which are the solid granny squares. And I need 44 of these to spell out dad. And this is the colour I'm using for my dad's one. I've just found all of the ones I've made, including the ones that I've already blocked. And I have 32 out of 44, so I still need 12 more, which is what I'm going to try and do now with this yarn. I've luckily found pretty much a whole skinny yarn, so hopefully I can make 12 more. And I'm just going to continue to block as many granny squares each night up until Christmas. When I'm done with my dad's one, I will probably move on to my mum's blanket. But I think I might make her cardigan first because I've already started that. But yeah, right now we're working on these granny squares. You don't want to come down, do you, Mia? Because I'm currently getting pins out of this. What are you doing?
Where is she living?
Money.
I don't know.
I'm trying to count. So this is just the first two letters of the word dad, and as you can see, it barely fits on the blanket. It's because each letter is 5 squares wide and 6 squares tall. Yeah, I can't fit the other D on the bed, and I don't have enough granny squares to go in between the letters yet. But it's going to be such a long blanket. That's my issue. It's going to be so long. But I think it'll be really cool once it's finished. So I went onto Canva and I created a diagram of what I'm going to do with the blanket. I have all of these dad squares done. And to make it less than like 7.5 feet, I'm gonna do half granny squares in between the two letters here and here. And I'm not gonna do any granny squares on these sides, but we'll have them on the top and bottom row to increase the width of the blanket. This means that I'm gonna need to make 16 of these half granny squares. And I also have 58 finished of the coloured granny squares, which aren't the letters Dad. I'm going to need to do 17 more granny squares and 16 half granny squares in order to finish this blanket. I've almost finished with making the granny squares. I made some half granny squares that look like this. As you can see, I already did some on the first day after I came up with the half granny square solution. So I need to just block a few more granny squares. I'm working on some. I literally just need like 4 or 5 more. Block them and then we'll have all the squares. So it is now time to start sewing. This is the part which I hate. I could slip stitch them together or do something unique, but I think the best method for what these squares are going to look the best is if I just sew them together. So I'm probably going to do that. Okay, I've started sewing the blanket together. I am only doing the width ways so far, so it does stay attached, but it's got all these gaps. And I'm doing, I think it's a mattress stitch. Oh, I love it. They just look perfectly glued together. Yeah, this is how this is coming along, but I realise I've been doing a lot of sewing and not an actual lot of knitting or crocheting, and we've got other presents to make, so let's start making more stuff. I also have started doing granny squares for a blanket for my mum, but I feel like I'm not going to be able to finish 2 blankets before Christmas. But her birthday's at the very beginning of January, so I can keep working on it after Christmas and give her her next present for her birthday. But something she's asked for is a cardigan like mine, the Hexagon Cardigan. So I have started one, and this is what it is looking like. So I'm going to keep working on this. I'm going to go back and check the pattern. I'm using Passionate Kelsey's pattern that I bought for this, because I think I might have messed up some of the corners. So I'm going to start crocheting this and keep sewing. This is my dad's blanket so far. I'm almost halfway through, so you can see how big it is already. I am starting on the letter A. It's this like left bit, and then here's the middle. So I am almost exactly halfway through the blanket of sewing it together. I've got all these gaps we have to sew as well. So what I've done is I've sewed it this way to join it. It's easier to sew it that way as well because it's a lot quicker because it's widthways instead of lengthways, which is going to take me quite a long time to do each length row. We have to sew like all the way to finish the join, and then I'm going to crochet all the way around the border. It is currently the 17th of December. Wish me luck again. I'm sure we'll get it done in time.
And be like, you don't stand a chance. Well, I think
I have a big update. This is the blanket. So it is the length of the bed, and as you can see, these two letters are completely finished. I carried the yarn all the way across, so now I just need to join this much and then do a border on it. I can't believe how crazy this project is. It's also a really long blanket other than wide blanket. But you know, it is what it is because it does spell the word dad. I hope he likes it. Update on my mum's cardigan. Sleeves are complete. We are doing the extras at the back. She says she wants it quite oversized, so I'm going to try my best. The sleeves are great. They have like this much leeway, so they're quite nice and baggy. Just gotta make the rest of it nice and big and baggy too. I'm currently editing the Christmas present video, making my mum and dad and fiance's dad. I think those are the only gifts I made for Christmas. The last clip I actually have of me filming is Christmas Eve, and on Christmas Eve you can see that I still had a lot to do. But we did it. We actually did it. I finished the blanket and I finished the cardigan. Didn't film because it was crunch time and I was crocheting and sewing till like 2 a.m. that night. And then I wrapped the presents and then gave them. So I'll try and insert some photos of my parents with them. And I did not do a blanket for my mum for her birthday, which was the 4th, which was very close to Christmas. But I did actually make her a poncho, so I'll insert a picture of that. So that's all of the Christmas and my mum's birthday shenanigans out the way of making things. That was a mission, but I did it. I probably won't do anything that crazy again for a while. Thank you for watching. I hope you had a good Christmas holidays. We're now back at it. It is the new year. I'm feeling quite refreshed for this new year. I'll see you very soon with another video in the Nook. Bye!